Peace. What's going on out there in the ethos with my peoples on a hump day? This is the Real HD show, the higher discussion. This is the show you're going to find on these or any other airwaves where we solve the good, the bad, the ugly of our people with freedom music. That's right. That's right. Freedom music happens 7:30 to 8 o'clock every time we do it. We get ready to do a show. Prior to it, you hit the link down below. You come on stage with me. We rock out. We hear all that good soulful music, all that good motivating hip hop, all that great music from the past that make you want to get out, get up, get out and do something. But that always happens 7:30 to 8 o'clock here on the Real HD Show. I'm glad you guys can join us. Make sure that you are sharing, subscribing. We need your likes, we need your shares, and we need your subscribes. Even if you don't like us, say that you don't like us, trigger the algorithm, make that algorithm do some work. Make it do some work. Don't let it just accept what you give it. Make it do some work. If you hate the show, comment that you hate the show. If you love the show, comment that you love the show. Give us a like. If anything else, give us a share. If you don't like it, somebody else might get something out of what they're listening to and what they're seeing. And also, turn on all your notifications so that every time we go live, you guys can rock with us and have a higher discussion. Total package energy. We want to make sure that we are mobbing their site. Tell them that the Real HD Show sent you. Waters, powders, teas, gels, juices, everything to give you that 3 to 5 o'clock uptick, because some of us, that jump start, some of us have a second half to our day. Some of us work 2 jobs. Some of us teach and have a radio show to do. Womp womp, right? So sometimes we need that little boost, that little something, that little battery in the back to keep us going. Total package energy. And without further ado, we're going to jump into the Elders and Ancestors Blueprint on the Real HD Show. And in order to do that, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play a video, since tonight is Share Your Video Night. This video came to me by a fan of the show on Twitter, Darvidos. Peace, brother. What's going on with you? He shared something really interesting. I think we should know about it. I think we should build on it. Let's talk about it on the Real HD Show. We're on an Ancestors and Elders Blueprint. Let's share it and rock out with it. So he wants to talk about the 10 blackest countries in the world. I'm assuming he means countries with the most melanin. All right, here we go. Check this out. Real HD Show.
These are the 10 blackest countries in the world. And when I say blackest, I mean these countries have the most black people outside of Africa. Number 10, we have Spain. They have about 1.2 million black people that reside here. Number 9, Mexico. They have about 1.3 million black people that reside here. Number 8, we have Canada. They have about 1.5 million black people that reside here. Number 7, we have Jamaica, where they have about 2.7 million black people that reside here. Number 6, we have Cuba, where they have 3.8 million black people that reside here. Number 5, we have Dominican Republic, where they have 9 million black people that reside here. It could be the Plantanos. Number 4, we have Haiti, where they have 10 million black people that reside here. Sapase. Number 3, we have Colombia, where they have 12 million black people that reside here. Number 2, you have the United States of America, where they have 42 million black people residing here. God bless America. And now the moment you've been waiting for. What do you think number 1 is going to be? I tell you what, these might be the best chips I ever had in my life. You ever had these? All right, first. And number 1, the country with the most black people outside of Africa is Brazil, where they have 113 million black people that reside here. Comment below if you were surprised by any of these countries on the list. And
all right, we back. So that was our Ancestors and Elders Blueprint, talking about all of the places on the planet that are steeped with melanated folks And if you can't find an elder or ancestor within those groups of folks, within throughout the whole diaspora to get a blueprint from, you're doing it all wrong. And I hope that that video was educational to maybe some young people, because sometimes our young people think that the only people that exist that look like them are in the United States. So I hope you share that video with somebody. Maybe you could clip it, send it to your loved ones, share it with your people in school, at work, at home. It's the holidays. Share or be shared. Um, each one teach one. Let's spread that around. Wake up your body, move it around. Shout out to Kenneth Burke. Keep rising to the top. All right, man. So we moving on. We're gonna get into our AAT report. Cue the music. Yeah, man. So we are in a AAT report, Aero Aqua Terra, as my man likes to put it. Anything under the land, sea, or air that will make you healthy, we will cover. So we got a two-parter. I was trying to debate on how I was going to do this. Maybe I'll hold off on one for the Lit City report, and then I'll do this one for the uh, AAT report. This is our healthy, wealthier, and wiser segment because we need cell power. We were robbed of it a couple years back, and we need to reclaim it, not only as a people, but as a planet. So I'll bring you these excerpts, I bring you these clips so that we could be healthier as we progress, especially moving into this comfort food season called the holidays. But let's get into it. Real HD Show AAT report.
Pesticides has always been about letting people know what they can be exposed to through the foods that they're eating.
When I first heard my colleagues tell me they found chlormequat in the foods that they had tested, I said, "What's chlormequat?"
Chlormequat is a new chemical in the US food supply. It is used primarily on grain crops like oats and wheat. Once we learned that the EPA had essentially started allowing chlormequat on oat-based products that were being imported into the US, we decided to test them. And when we tested those products, we found chlormequat in over 90% of those samples. That was samples like cereals, breakfast bars, snack bars, really common foods that people are eating every day.
EWG's toxicologists looked at the chemistry of this particular chemical and were alarmed.
Chlormequat causes really concerning health effects in animal studies. It harms the reproductive system and it can disrupt fetal growth. And that gives us concern for how this chemical might also impact human health. Once we knew it was really prevalent in the food supply, the next question was, well, can you measure it in people? This is the first study of chlormequat exposure in the US population. Our study is published in the peer-reviewed journal called Journal of Exposure Science and Environmental Epidemiology. We tested the urine of about 96 different people. I mean, we expected to find a little bit of chlormequat, or maybe some people would have detections, but the fact that 4 out of 5, 77 of the 96 people had exposure to chlormequat was really astonishing, especially because this is a pretty new chemical to Americans.
The average American probably believes that the EPA is solely in the business of protecting them and their families from contaminants, including pesticides in the foods. But the opposite is actually true.
We need the EPA to protect children's health and use the best available science and data to do that.
Yeah, man, that's that chlormequat, right? And they found it in many um dope. Thank you, Sister Aurora. Appreciate you. You will get a buzz this evening. So I hope y'all can all join. Y'all get in here. The the call letters are down below. I have a hard stop at about 9:20. I got to go do some things with the family, but StreamYard.com, 9G3T9, WN7MC. They talking about chlormequat in all of the foods, a really, really dangerous pesticides that could lead to cancer, inflammation, all types of yucky stuff in the biome and in your genome, right? And they tested it to have been found overwhelmingly in the General Mills foods, such as Cheerios. And what's interesting about that, right, is I'll take us back to a CEO earlier this year when everybody was going crazy about the hyperinflation and the superinflation. And this CEO got up here and said this. Let me see if it's up. Is it up yet? Yep. Kellogg CEO said, let them eat corn flakes for dinner. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing to me. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So you guys are actively putting in pesticides that can cripple people in the food, in the cereal, right? That our youth are digesting, right? The babies of America are digesting. Chlormequat and all kinds of, whenever you read a cereal box and it gives you that message might contain wheat products, that's because they're warning you that all of these, products that are put into the cereals are pesticide laced, right? So Kellogg's CEO said in response to a hot mic in his face about the hyperinflation, well, if they can't afford dinner, let them eat cereal. So let them eat cereal with the chlormequat all over it. Let them eat it. That's what so the one woman says chlormequat is causing generational illnesses amongst babies, children, people that don't even show up until they're seniors, perhaps. But this CEO says, let them eat that same thing for dinner. Who cares? Right? Because I'll be at home, laid up, I have Punjab slicing up my steak, my rare steak for me and serving me my potatoes well done with the spices on top. Let the rest of them eat cornflakes and Cheerios. Just want to let you know what's out there, folks. We all think that this is something sweet. We all think that this is something, the meritocracy of it all makes these corporate folks better than others. It makes them liver than others. When a lot of them, like your man Trump, like your man Bush and others, have gotten straight handouts and failed their way to the top. And those same people failing their way to the top lace your food with all kinds of deadly additives and tell you, go eat cereal for dinner, the very same cereal that they F up. Yeah, man. So we're going to keep it pushing because we got a lot to get to. Tonight is your night. Tonight is the share your video night. So I have a bunch of entries and people who have shared videos with me. And I want to, especially regulars on the show, I want to make sure I get to them. Shout out to everybody watching and listening. We're blasting off the 5 Facebook channels, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, as the kids say, Mob Crush, D-Live, Trovo Nation. We're everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD Show, the higher discussion. Tap in with us. Get on this stage with me and let's chop it up about something consequential, man. We always got, water cooler antics. We always got the rumor mill going, shade room, the griot, all of the foo-foo happening on those outlets. We're talking about real things that shape and move bodies. Hey, speaking of shaping minds and moving bodies, make sure y'all check out Cleaning Mirrors podcast, featuring my homegirl, Lala, Miss B. She used to be on the Real HD Show. And my homegirl, Pam, in the A to the T, not taking no L's. Check out the Cleaning Mirrors podcast every Sunday at 7 p.m. Reflections of acceptance, embracing you in the mirror. And check them out on Facebook. Keyword Cleaning Mirrors Podcast. Go check them out. Tell them the Real HD Show sent you. Tell them the Vic from the Real HD Show is looking out and bringing people their way. And you won't be disappointed. They talking that real. They talking that good. They talking that, clean up your own backyard. Get the sweeping there. The sweeping needs to be swept. You know what I mean? And we are moving on. Let's get into a real quick Lit City report. The wild, the wacky, the wonderful. Things that make our life worth living. And this brother on this Lit City report, it's a little vulgar. It might be a little on the respect my goofy side. Shout out to my man Mooney and B More that sends us this video. Today is a share your video night, and we intend to do just that. So let me share my brother Mooney's video. Mooney gonna kill me. Yeah, man. I'm gonna share your video, Moon, and let's see what the people think. Okay. All right, let's get to it. So this is a Lit City report about how to live a longer life. Now, this is not gospel. This is not written in the good book. This is not cuneiform on the walls of Egypt. This is the advice of one brother to whoever's listening, especially young brothers, on how you can live your best life or a long life. Let's check this out. Give us your take on the other side. Lit City report.
95 years old. You look good for 95, man.
That cause I don't run behind big asses and titties. That'll kill you. Y'all young men, y'all be screwing all these hoes out here. That's why y'all come up with arthritis and rheumatism. Your eyesight go bad. Your hair starts coming out. When you overfuck yourself, you bring arthritis on yourself. Every time you drop that seed in her.
Yeah.
Your bone marrow and all that stuff from your head to your toe goes inside of her. And when you have intercourse with your girlfriend, who always fall asleep first? The man.
Yeah, I fall
asleep.
asleep.
And when you wake up, she done stole your wallet, stole your car keys. She gone about her business.
Yeah, I got to get that shit back.
Well, you better kill her then. You have to eat right. Stay away from McDonald's and Burger King. Don't drink sodas.
No soda, no pussy, no McDonald's.
Yeah. The biggest, you can eat, but stay away from that pussy. If you ain't going to marry that woman, don't stick your dick up in her. No. You don't know what disease she got.
No,
and now all the women got coronavirus.
Yeah. They got that corona pussy.
Oh, hell yeah.
That corona pussy.
Don't stick your little 2-inch dick in every asshole that's out here.
Wow. I didn't see that before my man Moon put it to me. He was like, be careful with this one. But we ain't gonna spare the folks because we not babies around here. Hide your babies. Put the kids away when you're getting ready to play this video. Please, I should have preempted it. Put the babies in the back. Put your headphones on so they don't know what we're talking about. But he said no coochie. No coochie, no money. Save your money, no coochie, and a whole lot of other things. That was that brother's take on how to live a long life for a man in the United States, or just period. We want to play those things, man, and that was part of our Lit City report. The wacky, the wild, the wonderful things that make our world go round. Because we need a little bit of laughter and a little bit of levity when we can get it. So that was that brother's joint. And when we get some more people on the show, we'll run that back one more again just to see what the people think of my man's honest assessment of how a man gets to live a long life. All right, man, it's share your video night. That's right, share your video night. And the first video, let me see if I can get it up, but the first video comes to us directly from Sister Aurora, longtime person on the show. She's on the show quite a bit. We're going to show her video that she just sent. She put it in the Real HD Show chat. If you ain't never been in the Real HD Show chat on Facebook, you make sure you get yourself there and you make sure you participate because they get live. We get to arguing, we get to fussing, we get to loving, we get to sharing. We get to doing it all on the Real HD Show chat on Facebook and Instagram. Don't miss out. Debate the debate of the debates right there. And then bring yourself on the show and say it with your chest. So make sure you check out the Real HD Show Facebook chat for all that cantankerous. If you one of them people that like to argue, if you one of them people that like to get lit, get turned, and have your say, get your pound of verbal flesh, as they say, check that out. It'll have something for you that you can dig into. But we're gonna jump right into as soon as it pulls up. Okay. So we're waiting for it to pull up. And as soon as it pulls up, we'll have it. We're getting ready to show this video by Sister Aurora on a share your video night. And that's exactly what we're going to do on the Real HD show. Let's see. No, we don't want that. We want to share. We want to play those vids. There we go. No, that's okay, Sister Aurora. Don't worry about it. We got you. We're going to show you a video right now. Oh, I hope you feel better. Yeah, man. If y'all regulars on the show, and yeah, man, we'll see you on Monday. Get well, get some of that tussin that we talked about. Get some of that castor oil that we talked about last show, sis, and rock out. And hopefully you're well, so that you don't lose the, opportunity to participate with your family this season. But we're gonna get right. We're gonna get right into this. And this is something from Sister Aurora. We could talk about it on the other side. Sister Aurora, if you want to, you could put how you feel about it in the chat, and we could take it from there too. You know what I mean? If you can't get on and you can't rock out with us, fully, at least we could do it here. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start it over. I'm gonna put the volume up, and I'm gonna start this over for the people while I share my screen and everything gets ready to go like it's supposed to. That stuff be getting on my nerves. Come on now. Get some act right. You always got to deal with these gremlins.
Born without hands or feet, 25-year-old Zach Anglin says the only limbs he ever longed for were wings. Always wanted to be a pilot. Unfortunately, no quad amputee had ever become a commercial pilot.
Obviously, nothing worth having comes easy.
From the time he was born, he was a disciplined and determined child.
Adoptive parents Harold and Patty say there was no talking him out of it. So when Zach turned 18, he applied to a flight school that said no.
There's nothing we can really do for you. We're sorry.
The second one said the same.
Like, here we go again.
As did the third.
The same response.
And so it went, more than a dozen times over.
You're not hearing what they're saying.
I'm not. Selective hearing. My wife will tell you I'm a little bit hard-headed.
Which is why this hard-headed husband and soft-hearted father applied to one more school, the Spartan College of Aeronautics in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They said yes, although Zach's struggle was just getting started.
He still needed approval from the Federal Aviation Administration to take the lessons. But the FAA repeatedly, and in no uncertain terms, denied his request. And after the fifth rejection letter, Zach finally gave up.
I was like, this is not for me. This is impossible to do. And so my mom was over my shoulder at this point, right? And then she's like, you're not done yet.
I said, you can never succeed until you've learned to fail.
And Patty says her son obviously hadn't failed enough. So Zach kept at it until finally they cleared him for one takeoff. And when Zach was given the opportunity to show his potential, it became clear as blue sky that you don't need hands to have wings.
Fire, 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 fire. Love the story. Thank you, Sister Aurora. Thank you for tapping in and giving us that great feel-good story about the brother Zach and his travails trying to reach his dreams and be all he can be, even though he has that affliction. And he's disabled, as you can see, in the arms, but he's not disabled in the mind. And as long as like they say, as long as there's a will, there's a way. And this brother willed himself to be a pilot, which is awesome. Now, here's what I want to ask and comment on with the people is, do we think that AI, as dangerous as AI can be, as spooky, as creepy, I would think AI could play a part in helping someone like him to, assume that role in a more empowered way, in a more life assisted way. And as long as your faculties remain, you can do that job to the utmost of your ability, because now it becomes less of a cerebral, fine motor, gross motor functioning situation and more of a cerebral situation. You know what I mean? Maybe they can have some, like how they have, how you speak into the instruments as a disabled person, and you get those, you're able to learn through a speak and response type of computing algorithm. They could do the very same thing for folks who have afflictions and disabilities, who want to do those things that require a lot of physicality. So let's put that AI to good use, all our scientists out there. And if they haven't created something like this for it, let's get our young people who are coding, engineering, and software making into devising something like this that could be a winner for all folks, not just us folks. You know what I'm saying? And you heard it right here on the Real HD Show. So that was a shared video for tonight. And we're going to go to another one. You know what I'm saying? From Brother Mozzie. You know what I mean? And I hope you guys didn't hear that little burst, that little interruption. But either way, let's get to it. Do it. Okay? Let's scroll. Let's pop it on. And let's get into some of these. All right. I wanted to get into this one. I haven't seen this one yet. So this one is from Brother Mozzie. And it's featuring the acclaimed astrophysicist himself and what he thinks of different historical terms and different, because often what we do on the show is we uncover. Oh, wow. Why did they end my stream? What in the world? They ended my stream? No, don't end my stream. Like, what's really good? Sorry about that. I'm getting some message about them fooling with my streams. Always Facebook. All right, let me check. I'll check. Just give me 1 second, family. I gotta check Facebook to make sure that they got my streams popping the way they should. And while I'm waiting on that, I will get ready to show the Neil deGrasse Tyson piece that Brother Mozzie shared with us right now, as we have a shared video night on the show. Check this out. Real HD Show. Share your video night.
The word calendar comes from calends. Calends is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. Calendar is an invention by Pope Gregory to remind people when to pay taxes. You are born into this copyrighted timeline. And this copyrighted timeline is on your birth certificate, which means you are owned by them. They did this also to lose concept of true time. We are not in 2024. The word month comes from moon, because a month is a 28-day lunar cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. We have 13 lunar cycles every year. Where is the missing month? This is where it gets crazy. We don't know what year we are truly in, people. The fluids in our body are in cycle with the moon. That's why women have a menstruation cycle every 28 days. The ancients would never eat anything on a full moon, and they would do rituals. Maybe they did this to keep us out of sync with the celestial bodies, because they hold influence over our consciousness. So much more that goes into this. Give me a follow.
There was no year zero. You know why there's no year zero?
All right, so we're back. And that was from my man Mozzie. Long time been on the show for a long time, supporter, all of that good stuff. I have to check Facebook to see if we're still going on my Facebook page. I don't know why we're not going on my Facebook page. That's weird. But we're going on we're on a lot of other channels. So if you get interrupted, you can find us on Twitch. If you get interrupted, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on the Deadline page on Facebook. You can also find us at the Community Justice Initiative page on Facebook. So when I'm listening to that video, right, I'm thinking of all of the double talk, all of the double speak, all of the double meanings that exist in legal terms. So whenever you go to court or whenever you get an official piece of mail, all your mail has your name in all caps, which is actually a straw man. And then, of course, when you go to court, there are all kinds of double indemnity type of terms that they use. And if you agree to it, you think you're agreeing to an exercising of your rights. But really what you're doing is you're compartmentalizing yourself into categories, including infant, including criminal, including an estranged or deranged person. And it's all based on if you know the etymology of a lot of old English terms that they use to quantify and qualify you in America. Also, they were talking about the science of 12. And the Bible is littered with the science of 12. If you look throughout, and I'm not just talking about the 12 apostles, you can look all over the place, all over the Bible. It is littered with the symbolism and the symbology of the number 12. Don't believe me? Check it out. Get on the show. Let's build on it. You know what I mean? That's what the show is for. Challenging precepts, challenging misnomers, challenging things that we take for granted that are put up to us that kind of give us a sense of a self-defeatism in a way, because if we don't know why things are the way they are, if we have no proper context for how we see things in the world, then, you fall victim to whatever is put in front of you, honestly. And we've been doing a lot of that over the last 50 to 60 years. So let us know how you feel about that shared video as we move on to another. This one, I'm going to take a little time to dig up, but this one comes from my man Sincere all the way on Instagram. And he hit me up with the video. I'm not sure if this video is funny or informative or what it's doing, but he hit me up with a bunch of videos that I want to share with you guys that I think will be of great service, if not, you know. All right, let's play this one, right? So let me share my screen. Let me get this one up. This one is the maestro, Barry White, and he has some interesting stuff to say. Let's check him out. Real HD Show.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life. We can take life. We control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not. We decide if the trees can grow tall. We decide if the children will eat. We are very powerful beings on the planet Earth. And when I said a self-made God, I meant just what I said. Barry White changed his life. So you're right.
Yeah. And people criticize the statement?
No, not to my knowledge. It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah.
But, people tend to play down our power. Well, don't worry about it. This next guy do it, or let's ask God above to do it. There's a lot of things that has to change on this planet Earth that only we can change. And until we embrace the fact that we are as powerful as we are as beings. We're going to continue to make the mistakes and allow the mistakes to be made, from our children to our adults to our elderly to whatever situation you want to talk about. I made up my mind.
All right, so that was the maestro Barry White reminding us why we are gods and earths on this planet, and how we should do for self and not wait for others to do for us. And we just went through an event, what I like to call a ritualizing event, where a lot of folks across the planet, especially in the North American hemisphere, put out prayers and wishes for other folks to do for us what we could do for ourselves. And you guys know what I'm talking about. If you go back and listen to my show on voting, you'll understand that voting is a prayer or wish. If you go back and read the deeper etymology of what voting is, you'll find out that that's exactly it in a nutshell. And why should we wait for that to do for self? As a matter of fact, make sure you guys check out Our People's Party. That's going to be a brand new show that we do on the Real HD Network, where we talk about, build on, and develop our own political party for melanated people, for us, by us, about us, coming to you right here on the Real HD Network. We are currently developing that now. I see you out there, fellas. I'm not sure if we missed a meeting date, if everybody got inundated with too many things, but let's get back together and let's foster another meeting time so we can keep going and keep developing this worthwhile endeavor. All right, man. So that was the maestro Barry White with a whole lot to say. Shout out to Sincere, hitting us off with the are ye not gods and earths? We certainly are. Let us keep moving on our shared video night. And this one is gonna come from Glows Forever. And I'm gonna try to get to her page real quick, man. Before we do that, this is for my man Mecca, man. Mecca be clowning, and I'm gonna open this up so y'all can see what I see, and we'll make this a shared night, but we'll also make this one of our respect my goofy moments on the Real HD show, where we like to highlight some of the funny. All right, man, let's get into something funny real quick on the show. I'm gonna share my screen. And hopefully, Mecca, get on here, man, and explain yourself, brother. Shamar as Captain Marvel. Yeah, this is off your page, bro. All right, so we got that one. That's the first one. Michael Jai White as Black Panther. They're actually looking into him playing the original Black Panther, the very, very first one. I don't know if he's going to take that role. I don't know if he wants to or not. I think that would be a welcome break from the Black Panther series. I think they should make it like almost like an anime or some sort of like, for AI virtual graphic type of deal with him. But I think that'd be dope. All right. Also, Dave Chappelle as the Ant-Man, wilding out. That might actually be funny. Chris Tucker as Iron Man, bananas. Steve Harvey as Nick Fury. Nah, we ain't going out like that. That's corny. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. Hey, everybody at home, man, let us know who you would pick for Nick Fury instead of Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying? Who would you pick instead of him? Terry Crews as the Hulk. That's interesting, being that the Hulk was originally a brother. The original prototype for the Hulk was a brother, and I did 2 shows illustrating that. So it's interesting that they picked Terry Crews and his beanhead to be the Hulk. All right, let's go. Let's keep moving. Jamie Foxx as Captain America. Don't see it. Don't see it. He looked cross-eyed in this picture. Right? 50 as Thanos. I'm cracking up. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. 50 as Thanos. And Torres Gary says he'll use the Infinity Stones to create one last season of Power. Right, exactly. All right, so let's keep moving. Oh my gosh. Diddy as Loki. You know what? That might not be far off from the truth. David Ruffin as Thor. His name is not actually David Ruffin. He played Cochise and Cooley High. He played a bunch of no, he didn't play Cochise and Cooley High. He played My Man in the Five Heartbeats. He played a lot of really great movies. He was in Waiting to Exhale. I'm just trying to find his name. Let me see if I can get his cast name up. I believe his name is Leon. If I'm familiar with his name, I believe his name is Leon, if I remember right. Leon Robinson. There you go. Yep, Leon Robinson as Thor. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. If you had to have a black Thor, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. But let's keep it pushing. He's a little too tall and lanky for that. R. Kelly as the Green Goblin. That's out of control, man. We gonna leave that one right where it is. Mike Epps' Blade, no doubt. Hey, Mecca, did you do these on your own, man? Did you Photoshop these, bro? Let me know. Oh, no, this might be from this Vibes. Monique as Black Widow. Yo, this gets crazy. We just gonna keep pushing. Little Kim as Scarlet Witch. What in the world? Travis Kelce as Falcon, right? Because I guess you need one token dude, right? And they wanted to like say his lineup was so fire. It looked a little crooked to me. Medea as Storm. And we're done. End scene. End scene. We out of here with that one. That one was actually crazier than a mug. Yeah, man. Let us know what you think about that Marvel rendition. If you had an all melanated Marvel cast for some of these Marvel projects and movies, would you choose those people? If not, who would you choose? Back and that was a dope share in our shared video night segment. So let's go to let's go to Glows Forever. You know what I'm saying? Because she put down something really dope that I think we all need to take a look at and bear witness to. It's an article. It's not so much of it's not so much a video, but we are equal opportunists here, and that's my baby. So I gotta like bring her stuff out. You know what I'm saying? As soon as it'll pop up, I'll pop it up to y'all. I don't know why Facebook is moving kind of slow this evening. Come on now, let's get this going. All right. So I'm a proponent. I've been teaching for years, going on maybe 3 decades. And, it's always interesting how these people get hired to teach. And I can remember talking to a coworker of mine saying just because you got the credentials don't mean you can teach. So I'll share this video. I'll share my screen, open up the video, and I hope we don't get the little New York Times blocker here. Okay, so it says an elite school and the criminal it hired to teach math. St. Anne's School hired Winston Gwynn, knowing he had been imprisoned for fraud. Then some people began soliciting graphic sexual images from his students. What in the world? Less than a month ago, into Gwynn's teaching career at St. Anne's, an elite private school in Brooklyn, of all places, his 8th grade students discovered he was a felon. Wow. So the kids had to discover it. So that means the administration didn't do their due diligence, but the kids had to discover that their teacher, their math teacher, such a critical subject area, Gwen, was criminal minded, right? So while leading an algebra lesson, Gwen had shown the class a TikTok video, which led the students inevitably to search for him on the internet. What they found was startling from 4 years before, when Gwen had been charged with siphoning hundreds of thousands of dollars from an older couple he worked for in Manhattan. Wow. The head of the St. Anne's school acknowledged the teacher's criminal conviction and saying they had nothing to worry about. Wow. I can assure you that, as with any teacher we hire, we are confident in Mr. Winston's ability and fitness to educate and care for our students. But he was criminal minded, and that wasn't brought up in the PTA meetings before the school year went on, to get more of a democratic feel from your parents whether or not somebody like this would be good for your school and your school population, especially since it's parochial. So that means that it's damn near private and people are paying for this. So people are paying for felons to teach the kids. But that's part and parcel to all of the sexual offenders that are teaching elementary and high school kids right now. And I think I went over this earlier this year. Kind of a who's who roll call of sexual offenders who are actively teaching school. Some of them were arrested for what they did, and some of them were not. But it's out of control. And I'm glad my kids aren't a school age anymore, or I would have to worry about this. But it's a epidemic nonetheless. Now, why is that happening? Why are so many young adults soliciting, molesting children across the USA? I'm just going to put up the images of it, and you'll get to see how many people, especially women, are sexually offending in that realm, because we always think that it's just the men that are the nasty ones, the ones that go crazy on the kids and who are the predators, and NBC Watch and all of that. But let's look at this one right here, and I'll show you a little bit about this. Is just a microcosm of how many women are messing with the babies, and it's crazy. Texas had a gang of them, but there also a gang of them going on cross country. So please be vigilant. Get to know the people who are. And since the teaching profession is dominated by women for the most part, we want to be very, very vigilant and make sure that we are vetting the people who are dealing with our young people. It's just a microcosm of it. You know what I mean? You know? And I love the way that they try to slide that in and act like, women aren't fallible for those types of things, but they are, and they continue to be. Um, Trying to find this, but I'll just share my screen period and let you guys look at it. This is how rampant it is, um, with people who are sexual offenders, and how much access they actually have to our young people in schools. There you go. You know, you're seeing a cross section of women, men. Jeez, it's out of control, man. It's out of control. Just wanted to show that real quick. And thank you, Glows Forever, for that video. We got to be vigilant for the babies, whether you have young ones, grandbabies. You got to be vigilant for the babies. Ask the questions. Ask about the credentialing. Ask about their record. Ask about, what's going on with them and how they have managed to um, put together the record that they have and what does it actually mean. Yeah, man. So we here. We rocking still on the Real HD show. It's almost 9. So we're doing a shared video night. And let's go back to Instagram, right? With my man Sincere. He's got one more drop for us on the video side of the game, right? Where he's gonna talk about and relay. Actually, let me go back because this one was cool. I just saw this one from Dr. Umar. Now I'm not boys with Dr. Umar, but I do check out his stuff from time to time. And this happened to just pull up. So let's see what Dr. Umar talking about, right? I know all the sisters right now are mad at Umar for what he had to say about, the acculturation of, living in this country. But let's think about it, man. So it says the U.S. Army hanged 13 soldiers, melanated soldiers, while wearing their uniforms near Houston, Texas, for defending themselves against white violence. They were denied the right to an appeal after their convictions. Don't ever ask why you're not. Don't ever ask why we don't pledge your flag. Wow. That's good though, because of the whole Michael Strahan incident that's going on, where everybody wants him to fall on the sword, get rid of his job, stop working, stop being a broadcaster, stop doing all the things that he's doing simply because he didn't kowtow, capitulate, and do the cultural things that would make people believe that he is a full-throated, full-blooded American. And maybe he does have some rebel in him. Maybe he does have a conscious spirit in him. Maybe he did wake up one day and say, "Yo, I ain't having it no more." You know what I mean? And a lot of the reciprocity that we deserve, a lot of the repatriation that we should get is laced in things like that. It's laced in things like what Dr. Umar just mentioned, which was they hung black soldiers, melanated soldiers, just for commonly defending themselves at a time when that wasn't preferred, or a time when that wasn't looked at as, we melanated folks thought we could advocate for ourselves in those regards. And that's a whole lot of cap. And I wish they had the firepower that the people who were chasing them, so they could even the odds and get their justice. Also, there are over 200 mass racial riots, lynchings, or atrocities committed against Native or melanated people within the confines of the history of the 20th century. So you can do your due diligence on that. The Smithsonian has evidence to that. The History Channel has evidence to that. There's all kind of evidentiary information about the over 200 racial terroristic acts by YT folks on this soil against others. That's out of control. That's more than criminal. And we're going to keep it moving from there. I don't think I need to say much more than that. So let's jump into one more again, my man Sincere, and see what he's talking about with his um, offer here, or his article, that his video that he shared with us. I am going to play this And then we'll go back and we'll talk about it on the other side. Let us know. Let us know what you think on the Real HD Show. Let me open up the sound. Let me share my screen. And we on. Cause I'm on. Not my favorite song, but it just came to my mind. Check this out, Real HD Show.
The 60s, 70s, and 80s, many well-dressed New York City teenage boys shopped for deals on Delancey and Orchard Street on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, where they also had personal tailors. But the more established young men shopped at exclusive haberdasheries and boutiques, such as Layton's and Phil Kronfeld in the New York City Theater District, A.J. Lester on 125th Street in Harlem, and Richfield's on Pitkin Avenue in Brownsville, Brooklyn. These establishments sold the flyest garments, such as layered pullover knits, turtle and mock neck knits, crossover knits, leather fronts, quarter-fill coats and jackets, and more. But how much did these fly threads cost in the 1960s and 70s? In 1967, a 100% wool Italian knit cardigan cost approximately $28. In 1972, a pair of hunting suede Hutton Playboy shoes cost roughly $27. These prices may seem modest by today's standards, but if you factor in inflation, $27 in 1972 would have the purchasing power of $203.90 in the fall of 2024. The US dollar was much stronger in the 1960s and 70s than today, so $27 was a lot of money in 1972. Like, comment, and follow for part 3.
It's not about me, it's about the clothes, baby.
All right, so we're back, and I just want to read some of the comments that are under that. I remember those days well. We used to go out to Delancey Street on Sunday morning and buy our knit sweater and sharkskin pants. Playboy shoes was the thing back then, the good old days. I miss them so much. Another person says, I have one of the hottest stores in New York City. It was on 47th in Layton. Yeah, man. I remember all those stores. My boyfriend saved up his paycheck for about 4 checks to get a blue suede front alpaca sweater, along with navy blue lizards and a navy blue pants and a hat. Yeah, man. Who remembers the haberdashery stores? Shout out to Uncle Hackley, man, who had his haberdashery store, men's clothing, hat, and designer store on Jamaica Avenue in Queens. Shout out to Hackley's. He was another one that was there for years, helping men dress good, look good, feel good, get out there exhibiting in a great and representing in a great stand-up way. Shout out to all the old. Shout out to that's where you get the Dapper Dans from, and you get all of the personal, stylers from. And we think we just get it out of nowhere. And that boom in the '90s and the 2000s with all of the black fashion companies came out of nowhere. Nah, it didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of a history and a tapestry of folks who did it before them, and folks who wanted to do it again. But just remix it, make it a little bit better than it used to be. So thanks sincere for that really dope video. This is a share your video night on the Real HD Show. We got a hard stop in a couple minutes, but we're going to try to get through as many as we can on the way out of here. As many as we can of these videos that are about for us, about us, and belongs to us. And we should build on these things. These things are important. These things are absolutely crucial to digest and make really, really important work of. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's go on this one right here. This is by Brother Mozzie. He brings us this one via Instagram. And we'll get to this one in a second. And the reason I brought this up is because there's something else I want to tie into it. And we'll get into this right now on the Real HD Show. Shout out to Brother Mozzie for this really good video. And hopefully we'll get something out of this and we can build on it on the other side. Hit us up, put it in the chat, let us know where you're at. Real HD Show. Check it out.
Back in the media. We are the only people in modern history who participated in the extermination of our own public image. Black women literally participate in the extermination of their own public image through the reality shows, the drama shows, the gangster rap, everything the world thinks about Black women. You guys are literally dramatizing it to the world for money. Black men, all the gangster rapping and all the negative images we project about ourselves through the media, we are literally confirming people's opinions and stereotypes about African people. So when the police pull you over and blow your brains out and he goes to court, he gonna get off. You know why? Because all the jurors saw the gangster rap videos. They saw the reality shows. They saw the dramas and the movies and the sitcoms. And guess what? Most of white America don't come into daily contact with Black people. So the opinions they form about us is based off of what they see on TV. Now, you and I know that's not us, but they don't. And so we are literally being paid to destroy our own reputation in front of the world. If it's negative, I don't support it. And when I hear about 50 Cent starting his own thing, and Tyler Perry got his, and Oprah, and now Cat Williams, here's my question to all of them. When are y'all going to give us some racially empowering, culturally progressive content? Are we just going to get another Power? We're just going to get another Raising Canaan? And I'm so sick and tired of Medea again. Where's the movie on Ida B. Wells? Where's the movie on the Black Liberation Army? Where's the movie on the Haitian Revolution? Where's the movie on the African independence struggles? Where's the movie on Igbo landing? Where's the movie on all these great epics of African history? No. You just want to keep on playing that same playbook. Promiscuous women, violent men. Promiscuous women, violent men.
All right.
Here's my issue with Black in the media.
All right, so that's us. Good looking, brother Maz. Appreciate you, bro. And there's another one by Dr. Umar, who knew he would come up so much within the confines of the show. But he's talking about our image, and he's talking about the way we appeal to the larger world, the way we appeal to the way we represent ourselves to the larger macro society within the United States. And I'll throw it back. How does the larger society represent themselves to us? So they fight for the hegemony, they fight for the power, and they really don't have care for how they represent themselves to us. But we should hold them responsible for how they represent themselves to us, especially if a lot of them are just going to come off as sexual pedophiles and sexual predators, if they're going to be minor attracted persons. We should make sure that those delivering stereotypical truths, what they consider stereotypical truths, we could deliver our own. And also I'm going to read you something that the sister said in the same thread from the video. Queen, what is it called? Queen of Insight. I've been reflecting on this idea that Brother Umar was talking about, trying to make sense of it. I believe a big part of the problem is, as a people, we're not unified. Correct. Instead of standing together, we sometimes find ourselves divided. When it comes to certain artists, I understand what's being said about their content. Some may lack the talent to meet a higher standard. Others turn to gangster rap, overly specific, gritty lyrics simply because they're trying to survive. They're doing what they need to do to put food on the table. But that's just the thing. Yes, we are melanated, but we are uniquely complex, diverse. It is frustrating that in a racist world, people lump us all together and point to the negative as if that defines us. They reduce us to a stereotype as if the actions of a few speak for the entire community. We are so much more than the boxes or labels the world tries to put us in. Until we start seeing our own worth and supporting one another, the outside world will continue to define us on their terms. Well said. Well said. There's some things in there that I could nitpick about if I wanted to. We do need unity, and it's glad to see that at least, if not for anything, the sister is being introspective about it, and that leads to um, tribulation, which leads to healing, which leads to acculturating a better life. So if we could just get people thinking, healing, and making themselves aware of these things, we are winning the ball game by leaps and bounds. Because the ball game is won between the ears first, and then the body follows. So let's keep going. And what I want to point to why that's so interesting is because Burkina Faso just said something real and did something really interesting. And I'm going to clip it and put it on the show. Just give me 1 second for me to clip it and put it on the show so you guys can see this. Let me put it in my photos. Let me enlarge it so that it's legible and it can pass across the screen. And y'all tell me what y'all think of this, man, because this kind of flies in the face of, not flies in the face, but it kind of is very apropos to what brother Umar was speaking on, and what the sister was speaking on in her post about how we represent ourselves through our economic endeavors, our cultural endeavors, and just the way we go about life, period. You know what I mean? So I have it ready to go. I have to put it in a folder so I can pull it up for y'all. Let's put it in 12:9. Let me get that up real quick. So we're talking about image. We're talking about image and what image does, and whether or not that image is healthy, whether it's healthy for us to act the way we act and do the things that we do. Is it supporting white supremacy or supporting our liberation? And those things need to be vetted. Those things need to be discussed, and they need to be vetted so that we can be more progressive. So check this out right here. Here's the image that I want. In Burkina Faso, country in Africa, has just declared that they're going to full throat it with a erect spine, no diddy, right? A change in representation. Check this out. I'm going to minimize this. Make sure y'all support the show. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. What just happened? The leader of Burkina Faso has said no more colonial dress. We done with that. We done with the colonial attire. We are done faking like we're Europeans. We are done. We are done. We are done. And at the behest of Macron, who is the leader of France, at the behest of a lot of European powers, a lot of Asian powers that depend on the crippling, psychology of melanated folks around the planet to maintain their power and their hegemony as it is, and as they wanted to progress into their future. But they are saying, the leader of Burkina Faso is saying, no more dressing like colonizers. We are done. No more colonizer dress. How y'all feel about that, man? Y'all ready to give up them 3-piece suits? Y'all ready to give up those, cardigan sweaters? Y'all ready to give up them loafers? Y'all ready to do it like the mother folks, like our elder folks, our ancestral folks had to do it? No more colonizer dress. Do we believe that doing this will help us be more progressive? Do we act out and do we support the colonizers' dress because we think that will get us 1 inch closer and one more inch in favor, with favor and in favor with the colonizers? And we know who those are. We know who those people are. We know what those people do. We know those Fortune 2000 folks who love to run around doing what they do and saying what they say and putting systems of suppression and oppression and violence and terrorism up. It's going on all over the globe right now. You know, them people in Gaza is fighting that very thing. They just got a different face on it. You know what I mean? How y'all feel about the leader of Burkina Faso, very radical brother, saying no more colonial dress? Now, I wonder if that extends to the hair too. Because, you know, brothers like to get it fried, dyed, and laid to the side like the pimp years, Detroit Red. And then the sisters love they weaving it up. They love that. They love their blonde weave, the strawberry weave, the green weave. They love to weave it up. Are we going to follow our brothers and sisters in the diaspora and claim no more colonizer attire? Maybe that will help us be truer to ourselves and truer to our aims and our goals and our purposes as a people. Let us know how you think. We're probably one of very few folks who will don the colonizer's attire as a means to an end. Let us know what you think about this in the chat. Oh man, it's 9:19. We are almost bringing to an end this cool segment of Share Your Video Night. You can share an article, you can share a video, whatever you like, Hey, no, right, whatever you like. All right, let's see if I can get somebody else in here who has done some real dope stuff. All right, man, let's get one in from Adaris Fett, my brother. Let's get one in here and let's see what he has to say. This is a TikTok that he provided on what's going on in Angola. And I think this will prove fruitful as well to dig into, to analyze, to get through. And let's do this as our last one for the Share the Video Night experience. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it on the other side. Share your video night on The Real HD Show. Check it out.
Reason why Joe Biden is in Angola.
China just announced that it is banning exports to the United States of precious metals and things that we use pretty much every single day. The ban is on 3 metals, gallium, germanium, and antimony, and it goes into effect immediately. The U.S. gets more than half of our supply of these precious metals from China, and it's used in things like chips for your phone, for all of our electric cars, most disturbingly, military equipment. This is the latest and most egregious move by China ahead of Trump's second term as we get this sort of trade tit for tat back and forth right now.
Only 2 countries in the world have these precious minerals that are used to make these microchips. China, and which other one? The Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is the reason why Joe Biden is in Angola. Bingo! Well, this lady explains it better.
Biden in Angola. What's behind the last-ditch Africa trip? This is a historic first. No U.S. president has ever set foot on the Central African country of Angola until now, until this emergency visit. It is because of an infrastructure project that's called the Lobito Corridor, and we're going to break it down. This is from the EU's website. The Lobito Corridor connects the southern regions of the DRC, northwestern Zambia, and Angola to regional and global trade markets via the port of Lobito there on Angola's Atlantic coast. It is all for this critical mineral that is found in Congo. But was Congo invited to the meeting, to the G7 meeting, where this deal was taking place?
Here is the main reason why Joe.
All right. Now that's disrespectful. Angola wasn't invited to the G7, G20, or whatever type of meeting that was to talk about the minerals that they want to actually extract from Angola. Disrespectful, man. Disrespectful in so many ways. It's way past time for our folks to have a seat at the table. It's way past time for our folks to demand equal representation for the minerals and the labor and the resources that we supply the planet from. And we got to start acting like that. We got to start acting like we own the stuff. We got to start acting like we're willing to use applied force and vanguard to protect it. And we've got to start acting like we're not willing to let you disrespect us just for a couple of loans, a couple of small baubles and trinkets that really doesn't move the needle very much in the clandestine nature of our folks. And with that one, my peoples, I am going to end it. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys comment, turn on all your notifications so that every time we have a Real HD show, you could tap in and we can have a higher discussion. Oh, man, brother. We getting ready to tap out, bro. Godspeed. What's good with you, bro?
My bad, Duke.
That's all right, man. We getting ready to tap out. I showed a bunch of videos. I was getting ready to show one of yours. I was going to dig in the archives. You didn't give me anything recently because we've been working on our basketball show. But,
true.
Yeah, thanks for tapping in. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my bad, dude. Just late night.
I understand
Yeah.
perfectly. No worries, man. No worries.
Yeah.
We were just about to end it off, man. Like, share,
No
subscribe,
sweat.
comment.
No
Turn on
sweat.
all your notifications so that we can have a higher discussion when it's time. Also, thank you to Bats Footwear for supporting the show. Thank you to Black House Art and Cultural Store in Rochester, New York on Monroe Avenue. Go check them out. Thank you to Be Healthy Fresh Food Markets and everybody that supports the Real HD show. Make sure you check out a live episode of In the Bonus Hoop Show. Hoop Show for hoop heads. We had a very spirited show the other day. Lots to tackle, lots to do. Our joints are trending. You can find In the Hoops, In the Bonus Hoop Show all over the internet, especially on Facebook, especially on YouTube and Instagram and Twitch. Check us out on the Real HD TV network. You got anything you want to shout out, bro, before we get out of here?
Yeah, just want to say this weekend on In the Bonus, we're covering the top 10 greatest small forwards from the 80s to this current era. And it's going to be very exciting, very interesting, very engrossing show. So please show up.
Yeah, man, show up, show out, put your big mouth in motion. Tell us who you think. We need that smoke. You know what I mean? We don't want no echo chambers here. Like, share, and subscribe. And for the Real HD show, we are out.